Sweden, a nation recently independent from Denmark and under new leadership, since a revolt against Sigismund II of Poland who previously ruled, is now fully independent. Sweden is a nation that will break barriers and persevere in the direst situations, come due to the works of one man, Gustav II Adolf of House Vasa, or later Latinized, the Great Gustavus Adolphus. The Holy Roman Empire is a powerhouse in Europe. To best explain the government of the Holy Roman Empire, it was like the Articles of Confederation, but had one country as the leader, elected by a select few countries, and was very religiously based, and with hundreds of mini-states. 100 years before, a man had posted 95 reasons against the Catholic Church and had translated the Bible to High German, allowing any German peasant to read it. This caused many to go against the Catholic Church, and by the time Gustavus Adolphus came around, all of Scandinavia, Great Britain, and half of the Holy Roman Empire were no longer Catholic. The Holy Roman Emperor was Catholic along with the country he ruled, Austria, and the rest of the Habsburg domain. The Habsburgs had been a dominant family across Europe for a very long time and had the position of Holy Roman Emperor for even longer. They were going to war with a Protestant uprising in a lot of the Holy Roman Empire. Sweden was a nation that was low on money and was at war with Denmark, Poland, and Russia. He first dealt with the very able Danish army by scaring them off with a facade. Gustavus Adolphus knew they couldn't truly win a war against Denmark, so he signed a peace treaty. Sweden went on to campaign on Russia and ended the war in 6 years. The war against Poland was then waged, but went nowhere, and after fighting up until 1629, they finally signed a peace and Sweden was free to wage war in other places. They broke out of the bonds with this and took their army to destroy the Catholics attempting to roll up to the Baltic coast. The Eagle of Vienna has always been very powerful, and at this time, its army was very advanced and had very good generals, being Wallenstein and later, right after Sweden landed in Pomerania, the Count of Tilly. The Swedish went to help the Protestants against the Holy Roman Emperor, Ferdinand II, and take down the Catholics so that Sweden and the Protestants would be safe. In the eyes of most of Europe, Sweden was nothing to the great power of the Habsburgs, which controlled Spain and much of the HRE. Before, when Sweden had ended the war Denmark, the Danish went to help a large Protestant uprising in the Holy Roman Empire. They thought the revolt was legal and wanted to defend it, but they were crushed. The Swedish had some military experience but was not nearly as battle-tested. However, it was the only power that was trying to help the Protestant Germans, so when first Gustavus Adolphus landed in Pomerania, he was not able to go very far because he needed to go south, but just south was neutral Brandenburg. He just then strong-armed them into an alliance. However, at that time a city called Magdeburg pledged allegiance to Gustavus Adolphus, hoping to get help against the ruthless and infamous General Wallenstein, who commanded even more ruthless mercenaries. When Gustav didn't go to help them because if he did, he would be surrounded and his supplies would be cut off. He let him be besieged, and Wallenstein's army sacked and killed nearly 50% of the populace, being around 25,000 people, to be the worst atrocity of the war. He was assassinated by Ferdinand II, due to Ferdinand thinking that he would try and take the throne for himself. He put the Count of Tilly, called Tilly, in charge of the armies, and they went to intercept Gustavus Adolphus and take Saxony before Gustavus Adolphus allies with them. He was having talks with them, but they only told Gustavus that they wanted to stay neutral. When Saxony saw the great imperial force coming, they immediately allied with Sweden to meet the Imperials in defense. When Gustavus Adolphus went out, he met him near a little town, in the fields of Breitenfeld. At the time, the imperial forces had the most modern tactics, in thought, and easily the best men. Gustavus Adolphus routed them, and it was a crushing victory for the Protestants, restoring faith in all the Protestants. He broke all barriers in this move and was almost thought of as a holy figure in Protestant states. The war would go on for another 17 years, but that set the stage for a Protestant victory. Gustavus brought his nation from a minor power about to be crushed by many major powers to one of the great powers of Europe. He brought such a powerful force to its knees at Breitenfeld. He was so successful in the time he did have as a general that he is known as the father of modern warfare. He later died in 1632 heading a cavalry charge that would win the Battle of Lutzen.